Hey guys, long time no see, and it's definitely the first time you're hearing my voice, but considering what I've got planned for the future, I might as well get that ball rolling. So, I'm gonna be answering a few questions and updating you guys on the current situation for the channel. The first question is pretty obvious. I mean, where have I been? Why has my upload schedule been so all over the place? I mean, I'll just pop out of the blue half the time. So the first time it happened, I think, was around, according to YouTube, it was around 4 years ago, right after I'd finished my Valentine's Day countdown, where I uploaded a video every day up till Valentine's Day for a different couple. Obviously, that was a bit of a that was definitely a bit of a challenge for me. And on top of that, that year was also there was just life stuff going on. I had to deal with a couple issues, and I was like, okay, I already have these videos made. I might as well just put them out and then take a bit of a break. Obviously, I took a little bit more than a break, and the next time I ended up uploading was right after Halloween the next year, in which my Hotel Transylvania trailer was. So before that, I basically just did a lot of music videos or trailers, parody trailers and stuff, with that one notable exception of the time I entered that Sonic story contest. So this time around I was like, okay, yeah, I still want to keep doing the parody trailers and stuff like that, but I also want to work on a series of my own. So one of the things I do on a lot of my parody trailers is that I'll generally like a fandom and a movie, and I'll try to push the two together, and then I'll find these ways to make the story work. So I'll, like, if you look in the descriptions for a lot of the parody trailers, you'll find I've created my own story around them. Two of the ones that get the most credit on my channel for that are High School Sonic trailer and Mobius Wars, which is parodies of Star Wars and the High School Musical 3 trailer, respectively. The Mobius Wars one, I I remember just being so wiped after I had created that whole description, and so many people had already done that story-wise about how Silver and Blaze met in the future and all that, so I was like, yeah, nah, I'm just gonna I'll just leave that one for my description. I was wiped as it is with that one. But for the High School Sonic one, it was really just a simple explanation of why on earth would they even go anywhere near a high school, considering they're anthropomorphic hedgehogs and they've got superpowers and stuff. Why would they go there? So I just created this simple explanation of, oh yeah, the government made them do it. I mean, they are technically still kids, like kind of a Alvin and the Chipmunks Squeakle situation, which to be fair, I guess I really shouldn't have taken inspiration from the Squeakles, but but I got a few people saying, hey, wait a minute, that's actually a pretty good idea, or that's a lot better than some of the other high school scenarios I've seen for Sonic on this site. And I was like, okay, I mean, yeah, I guess I do kind of got a general statement for that. And I do have a habit of collecting pictures. I do enjoy just like doing random Google image searches and finding good pictures of the Sonic fandom. So I was like, okay, yeah, I guess I did this once, I can do it again. However, this time there wasn't as much of a time crunch, and I am notorious for not getting onto myself. What I mean by that is, I am not good at time management, and I am a procrastinator, and when I have no time limit, you can bet that it won't be done. At least not very quickly. So obviously, story-wise, I got about 3 in, and then I just, like, kind of dropped it for a little bit. And then for my promise to like, continue doing parody trailers and stuff, I realized I came across a very big problem of there weren't any good, like, obviously there are good trailers coming up, but there weren't any trailers that spoke to me necessarily for, like, coming out of any particular fandoms. And if you notice, my channel at that point, when I did have an idea for a trailer of some kind, it wasn't always for the fandom people wanted me to do. So obviously with my name and, like, with the majority of my content, I'm obviously a Sonic fan, with like some samplings of My Little Pony and Miraculous Ladybug on the side. But I just was not finding much inspiration for any of those fandoms at the time, so I came out with my first Phineas and Ferb trailer, which was for Hairspray. I don't even know why I I don't even know why it got into my head that that would be a good idea. But I was like, yeah, I'm branching out to other fandoms. It's fine. Except it wasn't fine because, once again, that was a year after the last upload, which was part 3 of the High School Sonic series. And then the only other video I uploaded that year was a random, like, snippet of, Heathers the Musical with Carte Blanc, from Miraculous Ladybug, because that scene really did give me JD vibes. Obviously, since I mentioned that there were only 2 videos posted that year, I started posting again last year. This time I was prepared though, at least a little bit more than usual. I decided to just create 3 parody trailers I wanted to do all in tandem, and then while I was doing those, I quickly found trailers that I wanted to do again so that I wouldn't, like, get myself stuck in the same rut I was doing before. So I actually managed to get 5 videos out on a consistent basis for a little bit, and then once again life hit and I was very distracted, and I did another Phineas and Ferb trailer. It seems whenever I hit a rut in my life, Phineas and Ferb is always the one I fall back on. And then something else happened. So like I said before, I am mainly a Sonic fan, with smatterings of My Little Pony and Miraculous on the side. So when I get into a fandom, I generally do like a deep dive, and I do not exaggerate when I say that. I deep dive into it. Like, I try to figure out all the details, I try to figure out what my niche is gonna be, like if I'm gonna like the fan art, or if I'm gonna like the fan fiction, or if I just want to watch YouTube videos of it. I generally try to find out what would work. 2 of my most recent videos were so I have a Twitch now, which was me announcing that I was on Twitch, and as is usual for me discovering it, I also discovered the Dream SMP. If you've been around in the past 2 years, then you obviously know what I'm talking about. For those of you who don't know, the Dream SMP is a Minecraft server with several famous Minecraft YouTubers and or Twitch streamers. All of them have pretty good personalities, but the best part is the Dream SMP had a scripted storyline, and it's very well written, almost a little too well written at points. So obviously, I got myself sucked into a fandom, and so I got very distracted with that, and because it's not one of those fandoms that's a cartoon or anything where I could, like, make parody trailers of it, when I went in my deep dive, like, there was like, no way of showing, hey, I've got a new fandom, except for an animatic. And thus I did one of the things I'm probably going to regret so much down the line, my very first animatic on this channel, to a My Little Pony song of all things, which, if anyone who's ever been in the Minecraft community, specifically in the Sleepy Boys, you'll know exactly why a certain person who was ironically drawn a lot in that animatic would not approve of the My Little Pony song.
Number 7, no My Little Pony friendship is fuck.
And then my most recent video was about a month back, and once again I just came out of the woodwork and I said, hey, I've got a new fandom. This time it was Tears of Themis, which is it's a very well written video game about a organization trying to figure out how to stop this very contagious, very dangerous virus from getting out on the streets. And there's also a smattering of romance between the main character and the 4 guys she's after. There's definitely nothing else to mention about this series. Nah, nothing at all. Nope, there's it's just a very unremarkable series. There's nothing to it. Although I guess it is made by the guys by Genshin Impact, so I guess I shouldn't be too surprised it was so well written. But yeah, it actually does stick out a lot in story and such, and once again I found myself down a fandom rabbit hole. This one, however, was a lot more visual, so I did, like I just mentioned, I did manage to get a video out for that one. And then recently, I've entered a few changes in my life that are going to make me able to upload a little more again, at least not without, like, putting a severe drain on my mental state. That's another thing, I kind of lost my passion for video editing for a little bit. I had a lot of trouble feeling good about the content I was putting out. I would just like look over them after I put them out, or even before I put them out, and I just find these little flaws that I mean, sometimes it was something only an animator can figure out, other times it was very obvious where I had made the mistake when I thought it looked good at the time. I just wasn't very satisfied with the content I was putting out, and I kind of lost the passion for video editing in the process, so obviously there was a bit of that going on. However, right now I'm trying to get back into the game. I'm trying to view it as more of a hobby than something I'm actually good at, so I guess that's kind of my way of saying I'm trying not to judge myself too harshly for this stuff, considering, I mean, I am still, I'm very appreciative of the 290 people who decided to stick around this long, but I mean, it's also 290 people. I'm not exactly a big fish in this pond. So I'm just gonna try and take it easy with how I review my content. I'm obviously going to try and put out the best quality I can. I'm not gonna be very, like, gung-ho about it. So I guess that was my long-winded explanation for where have I been. I guess the next question is, what are you planning? So that is a bit more of a difficult question because that's very broadband for my channel. Like I said, I do a lot of fandoms. I do a lot of different things. I write stories. I also video edit. I also do the funnies. And sometimes I don't even just copy and paste onto a parody trailers. On a few occasions I've actually just made straight up parody trailers of other YouTube channels, one of which actually got noticed by them, Peter Knetter. So what am I planning in terms of my old content? Am I going to finish High School Sonic? That is actually up to you guys. If I don't end up working on it, I'm probably going to take down the 3 parts that are already up. Because I am one of those people who does not like finding a series that they kind of get into and then they just realize, oh, this person hasn't done anything in a while. So, it's all up to you guys. If you want, I can continue, because I do technically have, I do still have the slides for the High School Sonic series. I just never managed to make them into videos. So if you want me to continue the series, I can, but if nobody really wants it to continue, I won't really blame you. I'll just take down the ones I already have so that I don't leave that kind of in the air. Am I still doing parody trailers? Of course, I'm always going to continue doing parody trailers. It's probably going to be, I'm not going to lie to anybody, it's probably going to be a lot slower going now, because like I said, I have not been inspired by parody trailers in a while. Like, I haven't found trailers that really spoke to me to say, wow, that was funny, I could imagine these characters doing it, or that character doing it. I have not seen videos like that in a while for me. I can't really envision them in terms of parody content trailers. So yes, I will still do parody trailers, it's just not going to be as consistent. I'm just going to have to find it really is only going to happen when I find the inspiration for it. Am I going to make more crack? That sounds so weird when I say it. For those of you who don't know, crack is slang on the internet for when you make funnies out of video games or TV shows or anything you find funny. So for a while this was kind of your favorite characters as vines, etc. I will continue to make the funnies and stuff. I've already got another one in the works, technically. What about new content? In terms of new content, I do have a few ideas. So like I mentioned before, I do have a Twitch. I have not streamed there in a while. And like with this channel, I also had a lot of trouble getting a foothold there. And considering you have to really do things for like hours at a time, it is a very, like, Twitch kind of demands hours of your time to work on that platform. I've been considering moving to YouTube Live if I ever continue streaming. In terms of streaming, I'm probably not going to focus on that too much. I might, like, stream when I need to make new art and stuff, or when I have a game I want to play that I need footage for, etc. If not, then I'm already explaining here, I'm not too enticed by the idea of live streaming. like, it's kind of interesting to me, but, like, there's a lot of uncertainty when it comes to live streaming, and if you couldn't tell, I prefer very structured stuff. I'm a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to, videos and such, so going live and then not knowing what to do is a very anxious nightmare for me. I do have something I want to do, two things in fact. One, I'd love to start doing analyses. So, if you were a part of the My Little Pony fandom, then you'll know about the Brony analysis community. I'm not going to kid myself and say that I'd be a primarily Brony, or a primarily Sonic, or any of that, but I would like to do analysis of my favorite series, and, like, talk about some of that stuff, because like I mentioned before, the Dream SMP has a very interesting storyline that I'd love to talk about, maybe even do some math, because I am kind of interested in the whole Limbo situation. Tears of Themis, like I said before, it's a surprisingly well-written story, and I'd like to talk about some of the characters, maybe even a certain character that gets a lot more flack than they deserve. Another thing I'd like to do, actually, is fan reviews. So, I'm not gonna kid myself, I'm still very much a geek. I read fan fiction and watch YouTube and love fan art with all my heart. Why not talk about it on this channel? I mean, with all the parodies I do, I might as well talk about it. Two things I wouldn't talk about. I would not talk about other people who review or critique fandoms, because one, that's kind of just lazy. Two, that's going into debating territory, technically. That's kind of like responding to someone, and I do not want that kind of attention on myself, which leads me into my second. I don't want to talk about drama. So I'm generally not gonna mince words. I don't like politics that much. So, and obviously right now it is a very hectic landscape for talking about that kind of thing. If I did do analysis and fan reviews, I wouldn't want to talk about anything drama related. And if drama had any part in it, it would generally be either drama that has long since passed and been resolved, or drama that I knew wouldn't cause a major impact. So things like the Dream SMP, if it's got drama involved, I ain't touching it. That stuff gets way too hostile, way too fast. If we're talking about the Sonic Archie situation, I'll talk about that. In fact, that's one of the first analysis I'd like to do on the series, actually, is talk about the Archie comics and what kind of went wrong there. But yeah, in terms of new content, it's kind of a no-go with streaming, kind of a yes-go on analysis and fan reviews. Again, this kind of all depends on you guys. I have not posted in a while, so this is obviously going to be a bit of adjustments for everyone involved. People who subscribed to me years ago and are just now getting these are probably like, who is this again? For others who've just subscribed, the analysis parts might just be out of left hand for you, like you subscribe to the channel because of all the parody content and stuff. But I'm determined to try and make it work this time around. I'm trying to at least be a little consistent to where I'll give a heads up at the very least if I decide to take a break. So yeah, I guess that leads into the final portion of this. So obviously, since I'm going to be asking for a lot of your opinions on this stuff, that's all going to be on you guys. And something I guess that's going to be a major question that that might help with determining opinions and where we go moving forward is what fandoms I do. Because like I mentioned before, despite my name, I am definitely a multi-fandom person now. I might actually have to change my icon going forward. The name's not going to change. I'm definitely not changing the name. I've had that thing since I was 12. I'm way too proud of that. Might need to see a specialist, but I'm still proud of that name. But yeah, so kind of like, what fandoms am I still doing? I'm still doing a lot of fandoms. Sonic the Hedgehog is always going to be one I want to talk about. Like, give me a good idea, no doubt, I'll just rush straight to my computer and talk about it. My Little Pony, that's a little more of a mixed bag for me. With Generation 5 recently coming out, obviously there's people who have a lot of opinions on it. I, ironically enough, do not have opinions on it currently. I'm reserving judgment on all that until after the series comes out, because I do feel like the movie was just this overglorified pilot, and because it was kind of fluff instead of setting up the world like it should have, I don't really have like solid opinions on any of these characters yet, except for Hitch. Hitch is the best character, and that's oddly something the entire fandom can agree with. Miraculous? I'm gonna be honest, Miraculous has been a mixed bag for me. With the recent season 4 stuff going on, you've probably seen a few channels talking about it, but like, season 4 hasn't been going very well. Obviously, there are a few episodes of interest, like the recent one with, Nightwalker. Obviously, the season finale has caused a bit of a shake. But, like, in terms of their normal writing style, it's definitely gone downhill since season 3, and I don't know if that had something to do with them stretching themselves out with the Shanghai specials and all that, if this is a simple case of new writers coming on board, and there's been a bit of adjustments. I know that one of the animation teams left, so perhaps a few of the writers were also in that mix. Point being, I have very mixed opinions on the Miraculous fandom right now, so I'm kind of just gonna steer clear of that, except for the very few exceptions when it comes to, like, fan works and stuff. That would kind of go into my fan review section. Other than that, like I mentioned, I have recently got into Tears of Themis and Dream SMP, so I'm always down to talk about those. Phineas and Ferb is more of a passive fandom for me, but if you can find something interesting for me to talk about, I'll definitely give it a shot. And if you ever have good fandom suggestions for me, go ahead and give it a shot in the comments. I'm always looking for a new obsession. But yeah, those are the fandoms I currently work with at the moment. I'm sure I could think of many more if given the chance. And who knows, if you suggest something in the comments section, I might actually still be a fan of that and might be able to be like, oh yeah, I know that, I'll definitely do something for that. So yeah, I guess this has kind of been an update for you guys. I'm gonna try and be more consistent. You can feel free to tell me when I haven't uploaded in a while. I definitely try to listen to everyone's comments. On that note, y'all have a wonderful day. Sonic Girls Geek out.